it says we're starting here, so let me just go back over here and double check and see when we pop up. There will be a
Shit.
delay. Where is everybody?
Delay.
Well, there's always a delay in the stream.
What do you mean? Tell me the story about this delay.
Oh my
Mm.
goodness, man. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the pregame. I don't know.
Xbox, PlayStation, Nation's new podcast on Saturday afternoons or Saturday
You forgot.
evenings.
You forgot about the greatest handheld ever made with the Nintendo
Oh.
Switch.
Yeah,
We're, we're
Kid-
becoming the neutral court.
Neutral bots. Neutral bots.
What? It's the greatest handheld ever made, and I stick by that, man.
Nintendo's new console that is
No.
hybrid. Get it right. Get
Dude,
it right.
dude, just because you, what? It's the Prius of gaming? Is that what you're trying to say?
You know what? That's great, and that's why
Mega.
it's selling off the shelves
Mega,
right now.
when are you getting your powder blue Prius? That's all I want to know, man.
It's like a tampon mobile.
Let's see.
Bring-
Obviously, I got to get it pretty soon. I'll probably get it this summer.
bring in the perp in a coke covered Prius.
No, I mean it's got to be powder blue.
Powder.
You know he's gonna
Probably.
convert the hatchback into a
He's gonna
truck
have
bed.
he's gonna have frozen.
Oh my
He's gonna
God,
have
listen to
frozen
that shit.
decals on
And
the
I'm
rear
gonna, and I'm
window.
gonna have animals just for you, Don. You can take the
Mega frozen. You're gonna have frozen decals on the rear window, man.
Yes.
Yes, that's the
No,
way to
I gotta,
roll.
I gotta have the fuzzy dice, man. Fuzzy dice, and then I gotta keep it old school and have the rabbit's foot on there as well.
Like-
What? Hold on.
Huh?
What?
Y'all ain't heard of that? The rabbit? Okay.
No,
look,
no,
that's-
I'm looking at midlife crisis. Like I don't
Oh.
know why he is. I don't know what podcast he is looking for. Yo, me and O Snaps did a live stream of snipper clips on the Switch, and midlife crisis pointed something out to me, and I cannot stop watching this live stream now. And he said, what you do is you take the live stream, you put it on, but then like I put it on my phone and I flip my phone over. I don't watch the gameplay, and I just listen to what me and O Snaps are saying. It is absolutely hysterical, yo. I swear, like I've watched it like that like 4 times already. So I think our boy midlife crisis he might have that kind of sense of humor, yeah.
You're not watching it if you're not looking at it. You know that, right? That's not how that
Yo,
works.
snipper clips is so much fun. Yo, Mega, you don't have a Switch yet, right? You're still looking to get one, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get one. This
Dude, when you get it, you and the missus, it's a $20 game, dude. One of our friends, Noble Addiction, he's on YouTube as well. Him and his wife play it, and they stream it, and they call it couples therapy, dude. It is absolutely hilarious to play that game with your better half, man. I swear.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. No
Dude.
doubt.
But what's going on, everybody in the chat? I know we were running a little bit late. I don't know. Newark fell off the next podcast train, and I think I see him running behind the train. I think he's catching up though, and hopefully he could get into the hangout. We have been having technical difficulties when it comes to YouTube and hangouts and stuff like that. YouTube, man, I don't know if they got like three gerbils running in a wheel or something to power
Can y'all hear me?
YouTube sometimes. There he
Yeah, we
is.
can hear you. There we
And
go.
there he
All right,
is.
My whole day went great. I was up since 7 o'clock this morning smoking a brisket. I just got finished not too long ago. My day went great. Couldn't find a mic to my headset, and now I'm using my wife's iPhone, and I couldn't connect the Hangout. So what I had to do was go to Google Chrome, hold on to like the link,
Mhm.
and open up in the new tab, and then it says open with, and it got Chrome, then Hangouts was up there. So I clicked on Hangout and clicked the check the box that made the default. But that was crazy.
Nice.
You know we're
nice.
live, right?
Yeah,
You're-
we're already
I didn't know
pre-gaming, man. We're
I
pre-gaming.
was about to say because I'm on YouTube on a stream and I don't see nothing. It's still saying start soon. So
Yeah.
Really? No, we're
Oh,
live.
all right. I exited and came back in. Okay, all right.
We
I'm
got
there.
we got O Snap in the chat. We got Lethal Papa, who's next. Mr. Midlife Crisis. Everything's going good, man. I'm glad that you actually got into the hangout. I was a little worried about you, man.
Though it
But
was an April Fool's joke at first, but
dude, I'm not gonna try to do anything like that. By the way, I just want to let everybody know I'm not gonna try to do any type of April Fool's joke. Me and O Snaps, like we went in on the kids today. Like we've pranked the kids so much. The 9-year-old twins, we put their tablets in the oven, and had them looking for their tablets until they found them in the oven. Uh, we had gift day today, and like we had random prank gifts. Like our 10-year-old Tyler, I wrapped up a half drunk bottle of water, and I wrapped that up as a gift. I gave our oldest a spoon. I gave one of the twins. Well, we gave one of the twins empty salt and pepper shakers, stuff like that. We're pranking the kids all day, yo. It's funny, man.
You know, one of the best things to do is get a toothbrush wet and just keep rubbing salt into it, so it just
Oh.
gets saturated into the bristles. Oh my gosh, you will never get a better reaction.
Oh,
my
dude.
God.
I think you're trying to torture
That's just
somebody,
evil,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, Don.
Damn, dog.
That's like we're some waterboarding, dude.
I am so glad we don't live at the Don's house, man.
Dang.
You want to know this other prank? It has to deal with bamboo shoots and your fingernails. You ready? You ready?
No,
It's
no,
funny.
It's not, that, it's not like that. I used to do to my brother all the time growing up.
Wow, man. Guys, we got a really good show today. I'm looking through the topics. I know our boy Newark, you're pumped for this show today, all right?
yep.
Yeah. Yup. Yep. I am. He said he was gonna go in today, so we gotta see what's popping, what he thinks about these things. As you can see from the title, talking about those third-party marketing deals, the Destiny 2 reveal, Switch games possibly costing like $80. I believe the Don wants to talk about that. He's real serious about that issue, so we're gonna get into that as well. Uh, let's see. I don't know. I think we got a pretty good pregame. You guys ready to check out the intro? No.
Let go.
Let go.
Oh, shit. That's some new shit.
Yep. Summoning my inner Chris Brown.
Oh, damn. Don't let your girl know about that.
Oh, damn. Yo.
Okay.
All right, guys. Let's hit this intro. What's going on, people, and welcome to another episode of the Next Podcast. Guys, we have a really good show for you today. There's a topic that I am really excited to dive into, and it's about these third-party marketing deals. For anybody who's on Twitter, a lot of stuff has been said about these multi-plats and the third-party marketing deals, and whether or not they actually benefit the platform that they kind of like sign with to promote and stuff like that. I really want to get into that topic. We're going to talk about expensive Switch games, possibly possibly $80 due to manufacturing costs. The Destiny 2 reveal trailer. I really want to get in and talk to the panel and see in the chat what you guys thought about that reveal. So, before we get the show started, we got to go through and hit the intros. And I'm going to start first with the self-proclaimed breakout king of Halo 5, the wizard of the UWP, Newark NJ.
What's going on, everybody? It's good to be back in the 2 weeks in a row. Make sure y'all check out everybody on the panels.
Check out Twitter, YouTube channels, all that good stuff.
Can y'all hear me?
I hear you now.
You're kind
All right, my headset is working. Make sure y'all check out everybody info on Twitter. sure it's a couple of newcomers that's coming into the podcast every week or whatever. Welcome to the podcast. Hope y'all enjoy the show.
Nice, nice, man. And I'm gonna move right along with these intros. So I'm gonna start with the man that that chinchilla wearing fool. You know the name I'm gonna say when I ask you guys to stand up, show that respect, kiss that ring. The Don.
Hey, what's up, guys? Another week, another podcast. So let's do this.
Let's do this, man. I can't wait to dive into these topics, yo. And you said you're pretty serious about this whole this Switch cartridge topic, huh?
Well, yeah, it's something we'll definitely get into, but it is something I mentioned before we even knew what the Switch looked like when we're dealing with the earlier rumors,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's coming true. So it's one of those Don predicts, and it's happening. So, but we have to talk about how it does affect not only gaming but the end user, you guys. So
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
kind of a big deal. So
Definitely, definitely. We were talking in the DM. He put out some very interesting points, and I can't wait to share it with everybody in the chat. So let's move on down the list. The guy coming live from the 405, and he's becoming famous for sending that shit to Hades. My brother, K Mega.
Let it begin, bitches. Here we go. Ow! I
Oh.
got the swivel mic thing popping off. My boy Lethal Papa, man, I gotta give him a shout out all week long, man. He's helping the brother out with a new mic. Thank you so much, man. Damn, I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? Things is moving in the right direction. I got so much hate over my Persona video that people changed the narrative that I hated Persona instead of me talking about what the video was all about was about the reviewers. So let the hate begin. Thank you, everyone. Yes, let this party get started.
Yo, Mega, when it comes to Persona 5, I was looking at like the reviews and stuff like that, and I heard something. I heard that there's like a side game where you actually take showers with old men. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, man, that game is not for me. I don't know. I can't get into that, man.
It's not for a lot of people. It's a niche title. It might be one of the best JRPGs of all time, but for people to say that it is the best RPG or the best JRPG and it don't even break over 2 million sales when you had Final Fantasy 15 that sold 5 million in one day. Look, man, I mean, it's just reality. So yeah, and then that funny shit all in between. Yeah, it's just not for everybody. So I don't know.
When they
It
say
is what it is.
best JRPG, I mean that's pretty much shitting on Final Fantasy 7 right there, man.
Well, that's you know the whole series of Final Fantasy, and there could be people that likes Persona. I like Persona, but there's no way in hell that it's better than Final Fantasy. Just for the mere fact, Final Fantasy has reached to people that's not even interested in RPGs. You know, so Persona just stays in its own lane. But you know what? People love it. People like it. That's great. That's fine. But you know what? Numbers don't lie. So.
I got you, man. I got you. So, when you say numbers don't lie, I'm gonna be really interested to hear what you think about the third party kind of like marketing deals with Sony and stuff like that. I have a feeling that topic is gonna get really interesting, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on that, man.
Right.
But let's go on down the list. If you have candles in your house, they are probably about to light up. Don't worry. Calm down. It's because I'm introducing the golden voice of the next podcast, that smooth talker, Fooskies.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Glad to be back. Hey, you know what's weird? Like, ever since you gave me this little persona, this little golden voice thing that you got for me, like it's spilling over into the people that I don't know on Xbox Live that I play with, and they love the voice, dude. I don't know what it is.
Dude, I didn't give it to you, man. It's a natural talent that,
Oh,
we
is that what that
we
is?
just
Okay.
happen to talk about here, and then it's catching like wildfire, man. It's what it is. We speak the truth on next podcast, all right? That's what it is, man.
You're trying to get some
That's it.
ladies. You're trying to get some ladies beat down by they men. You know what I'm saying? That's what you sound like you're trying to do.
Ah, getting my what is it? My Luther Vandross time on, you
Oh,
know.
woo,
Oh.
woo, woo.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
Well,
let's get it though.
yeah. Let's get into the first topic, and I want to start a little bit light. And we were talking in the DM, and it sounded like we were going to go with a heavy hitter at first, but I want to get a little bit lighter for the beginning of the show, and that would be the Destiny 2 reveal. I actually watched it. I watched it a couple hours after it came out. They hyped up this reveal, and I was really pumped. I wanted to see gameplay. I wanted to see what they were changing, and everything like that. You know, it is a reveal. So one thing you would like for them to reveal is gameplay. But when I went and I watched it, there was like these two different groups. This one person in the middle trying to rally troops. They had one guy doing it kind of like the honorable way, and they had the other guy doing it kind of like the scavenger way. You know, kind of like that freelance mercenary way. And as I went through the trailer, like all the way up to the end, I was waiting for some type of gameplay, and there was nothing. No gameplay on it whatsoever. But I want to go in. Let me start with Foos first. Yo, Foos, did you see the Destiny 2 kind of like world reveal trailer?
Yeah, I did. But you know how I feel about Destiny. That shit can go down with GameStop. But
Damn.
hey, but yeah, dude, for Destiny, I was expecting to see something because I kind of feel like they're gonna give us Destiny with like a DLC, even though it's Destiny 2. They're kind of gonna like how World of Warcraft does it. They just do an expansion. That's what I feel it's gonna be like. That's why they didn't show no gameplay. Got a couple lines from the Deadpool 2 script, I think, though, the way they were talking and saying their jokes.
Yeah, yo, the jokes I do have to say, yo, to see them kind of taking that little lighter side and putting a little humor into it, I did enjoy that, man. I like
Yeah,
that
that was funny.
scavenger dude. He's like, yeah, there will be lots of loot, like just to get them, like everybody around him, kind of like to cheer or whatever. I thought that was cool, but like I'm always willing to give a sequel a chance. If the first one came out, like the first game came out stumbling or whatever, or didn't kind of produce what you thought it was going to produce, or didn't produce what they had advertised it to be, because I kind of figure, you know, they can go back and look at the consumer feedback, the gamer feedback, and kind of mold it and change it to what the gamer might want. So you don't think they're going to do that with Destiny 2, man?
You know, the whole problem I had with Destiny 2 wasn't necessarily the game or the gameplay. The game was fun. I loved the gameplay of it. I played it for like 3,000 some hours, so I got into it. But what pissed me off is all those hours I put into it, and then the way they do their DLC and give things away to people cheaper down the line, and they don't have to work as hard as I did for it. You know, that's what got me about the whole Destiny.
I got
I
you.
feel like they're gonna keep it up too, man. I feel like it's EA, you know, or Activision, so that's what they're gonna keep doing is raping Bungie for their content.
I got you. And you know what? When with that one thing that I said with that guy when he's like, when there's going to be lots of loot, that kind of points to the fact that it actually might be that same way. You know what I'm saying? Because you're
Because
gonna.
you're gonna be
Oh, did he just bot?
Mhm.
I heard a bot. Dude, there's only one bot in this podcast, man. What's going on?
Mm.
Is he still there? Did he drop? I think no.
Nah, his icon's still up here.
Yeah, it's still up there. Oh goodness, yeah, that's got to be mega.
Yeah, that's all mega.
Well, let's see if Foos can kind of straighten out his like technical difficulties or whatever, and we'll definitely get back to him. But yo, Mega, did you check out the Destiny 2 reveal?
Was it the one where the guy was sitting at the bar?
No, that was kind of like the teaser.
The trailer?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the teaser, man.
No, I have not seen it. You know what? I know Mooch is going to be like somewhere screaming to the heavens, "Mega!" But the fact of it is that look, man, I've lost a lot of interest into it. The only way that I'll place Destiny is if a group of people ask me to come to play, and when I play it with people, I have a good time. But just to jump in and grind by myself, I lost complete interest after what they did the very first time. I went all out, got got everything and all, everything that they could offer, the deluxe and all that, and they just gave you this whack ass ending that wasn't even completed. And then I just was like, all right, you know what, I'm done. And I finally went ahead and got the latest. It was last year, sometimes at the end of the year, that where they had everything available for a good price.
The
All the
collection,
DLCs.
right?
Yeah, the collection. Yeah, and I, you know what, and I only played it twice. It's just that I mean, I've lost complete interest in it, and I've heard people say it's so much better and it's so much this and that, you but from how they told people how this game was going to be from the very beginning, when you played the demo or the beta, it got you excited. And I'm like, oh man, me and my son was playing it, and we was like, oh man, I cannot wait for this game. And then when we finally get it and we see the same thing, then we find out that this is the game. There is no true open world. It's kind of linear.
Very linear, actually.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's just kind of moving you into where. Yeah, I was like, you know what? Damn you, Activision! You took something. I guarantee you took something what Bungie was actually trying to do, because they were trying to rival Halo, and what you did was simplify it, because you wanted to make it as you maybe cut corners as best you can, so you could get more more bang for your buck, in order for you to keep your publishers happy and or investors. And to me, that's shitty. You know what I'm saying? I hate Activision. I really do. I do. I got a disdain hate for them.
So do you really feel like Activision kind of like has the shackles on Bungie right now, and Bungie would actually make a superior product if they didn't have this deal with them as a publisher?
Oh man, if Bungie had full control of making this game the way that they vision it, it would be kind of like like a what is that movie that's been out with Star Lord and all them? I can't think of it.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I think this would have been like a Guardians of the Galaxy meet Halo type of thing. It would be just like really
that
epic
sounds really
fuck.
Cool.
Yeah, and because if you look at the characters, if you look at how they present everything, it's kind of got that feel. And and that's what we were all looking for. If they would have made it open world, they would have made it as epic as they could. They would, and even if they delayed the game in order for us to get what we visioned, it would actually rival Halo, I would think, in the sense of where their projection go. But Activision, they want a game to come out. They're all about money, and they don't give a damn about the gamer and about the developer, in my opinion.
Dude, when it comes to Activision, I couldn't agree with you more. Before we continue with this topic, I want to give a major shout out to somebody in the chat. One of our good friends. Shout out to Tommy Guns, man. Yo, dude, it is great to see your name in the chat. I really appreciate you showing up and checking out the show live, dude. You do a great kind of like blog when it comes to gaming and stuff like that, and I really appreciate you being in the chat live with us tonight. But my whole thing about Destiny, right? Destiny was supposed to be a 10-year game. They weren't supposed to come out with sequels or anything like that. And with seeing that they are actually coming out with a Destiny 2, in my mind, I thought they were like, oh shit, well, we are really off track with this and we have to fix it. So we're going to come with like, a sequel, and kind of listen to what the gamers were asking for, and put the lore into the game and stuff like that. I think that was one of the biggest things, because when Destiny first came out, to actually learn kind of like the story of the environment and the backdrop and stuff like that, you would actually have to go online onto their website and check out the stuff that you collected and read about it. And they're like, no, we want that in the game. Like, there's no immersion there. I know that's what I thought anyway. But yo, Don, did you check out the Destiny 2 reveal, man? And if you did, what do you think about it, dude?
Yeah, I saw all of it. It was a fun little thing, fun little nod to people that are fans of the game. There's a lot of like little Easter eggs throughout the whole entire thing. However, I remember watching it. It's like, oh, that looks cool, but I'm like, man, they gotta win me back. I mean, I literally have 27 days in Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
and I can honestly say maybe 30 to 40 hours were just brilliant to good, and then everything else in between was just tedious and dragging on. And I look at that game and I'm just like, there could be brilliant moments, but I have to go through all that other stuff that wasn't brilliant to get that enjoyment out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It you know they do it really. I mean, they have to do more than that trailer to win me over. They have to hit 60 frames per second on a shooter. They're one of the only shooters on the market today that's not 60 frames per second.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a big deal in regards to that. Uh, Going back to when they did a DLC, man, it just shows how dated that engine really was, because it just doesn't even hold up even remotely close to what anyone else was doing, even let alone a year after what they're putting out there. So it feels, it's not the mechanics that feel dated, right? I want to be very clear, because the mechanics are solid actually.
Yeah, the mechanics is always is
Yeah,
really
but
good.
it's
Yeah.
it's the gameplay, and the 60 frames per second is part of that gameplay that it's missing, and also from the visuals. So it just, I I want it to be good. I want Bungie to find themselves again. Maybe they will with this,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I don't really have much faith if it's going to go where it needs to go.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
most of
Don.
Bungie on 343.
I,
Yeah, well, that is true.
I was
People don't
just,
realize that.
I was gonna say, well, Don, because you heard what Mega said about Activision and kind of like how Activision does things as a publisher. Do you kind of lay what happened with the first Destiny? Do you lay it more on Activision? Do you lay it more on Bungie, or do you think it's kind of like an equal divide between the two?
I would say, a lot of these situations you kind of have to look at it almost like a marriage, if you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean. And certain couples work well together, and certain couples don't, right? And you know, Bungie is well known for just trying to get stuff on time. That's not their forte. Their ambitions are higher than I would say their organization has been over the years. And every studio's got their problems, but this one's pretty public. People know that from Halo 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really kind of been that sort of situation. And realistically, Activision likes to have shit done on time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say even more so than I would say Microsoft, and in regards to that. So, you know,
Activision loves dated engines too. That's another thing I
More
noticed.
bang for your buck. That's what I'm
well,
saying. I mean
no,
that goes to that.
that has to do with releasing stuff on time. You
Okay.
Well,
know,
well,
all that innovation does take time, and that's what causes a lot of delays for certain people. So,
but doesn't
yes,
that mean? But doesn't that mean they rather you play on those old ass engines in order for them to have their product out for them to make more money instead of
I
people?
don't think that's an Activision decision. I think that comes down more to the individual studios. So, like for example, of like Call of Duty, they want them all working in the same engine, right?
Mm,
So that's a collaboration between those three major studios if they're going to iterate on different parts of that engine, because all engines are at this point are kind of old anyways that we're playing on. They've just been updated over the years, and then they just add a number to it, right? So in the case of like I work in Unreal Engine quite a bit, and Unreal Engine 4, a lot of that code is left over from 3, and a lot of that code from 3 was left over from previous. So I mean, these engines are iterated on. They're not really built from the ground up out of nowhere sometimes.
Yeah, but
So
when you go, let's just be real here. When you go from like Unreal 3 to 4, yeah, there are some aspects that come from 3, but they build on it so much more, and they add in like new techniques to a
yeah,
to a
well,
major degree, man. It's not just
so,
a
some
band
do
aid.
it better than others, right? Like, not all engines are equal
Mm-hmm.
in regards to all that. So it is what it is. So, but in the case of Bungie, I think if I remember correctly, that's their own engine that they came up with. So it's not really even an Activision thing. Like, they came up with their own engine, and rumor is, and this
Well,
is all rumor and speculation, but there's problems with the engine they created.
Hmm.
Moving something takes a really long time for them to get all that change done across the world.
Hmm.
And so they hit that kind of critical mass of what that engine can do. And so that's caused a lot of issues with the first one, to be honest with you.
All right. All
Well,
right.
in Destiny's defense, wasn't it, on the older engine to be on 360 as well? Or am I
I
wrong?
would imagine so. I would
Okay.
imagine that was a big part of it.
So now
Um,
hopefully they won't be
well,
held back in that regard.
well, I don't know if that really held it that much back, to be honest with you. Maybe from some visual standpoints, maybe.
Okay.
But some of these are all rumors. So like I want to everyone knows I'm in the industry, so sometimes like people think I know
Yeah,
everything.
it sounds like you're
Yeah,
from the industry, so you're kind of like trying to really pick your words here. You
yeah,
be really
but you
honest
got to
with you,
remember
man.
all this stuff as I heard is hearsay,
Okay.
right? So I
Disclaimer.
don't. Yeah,
Disclaimer.
I don't really know for sure if there's really problems with the engine or any of that sort of stuff, but apparently there was problems with the engine. It hit critical mass of what they can really do with it in the scope of their game. So that really did hinder the development of add-ons. It hindered a lot of things in regards to, so a lot of their earlier problems because of that. Destiny 2 supposedly has a new engine. I don't know if it's something in house or they use something else to do it. So we'll see if all that stuff is true when they show gameplay. I think around the 18th of this month.
Hmm.
They said they're going to do gameplay not too far down the road. So
All right. Well, see that, and that's another thing I wanted to see is if with the second iteration, if they came through with a new engine that they built the game on and stuff like that. But I don't think we heard from Newark. Newark, what when it comes to the Destiny 2 reveal? First of all, did you see it? And second of all, share your thoughts, man. I want to know if this is a hot topic for you. What did you think, man?
Well, it's not a hot topic for me, but I just watched it. And it's like two trailers or something like that,
Well, there's a
or it's
teaser.
just one.
There's a teaser that has
Teaser
a
and a
guy at a
trailer.
bar, but then when they when they use that teaser, I thought the teaser was going to be kind of like that cinematic thing, and then when they do the reveal, they're going to have gameplay in it, to show you exactly what the game was going to like look like and stuff. And it didn't do that. It was basically an extended teaser, in my opinion. But yeah, they didn't show any real gameplay, though.
Yeah, I didn't think too many people would be excited for it. I mean, Destiny was like one of the most hated games this gen. Everybody hated Destiny, and I heard with the second one that it doesn't carry over from the first one. So I don't know. Like always, Destiny was a game I always wanted to get, but didn't want to spend too much money on it because I knew I wouldn't put enough time in it.
Hmm.
But I don't know. We'll have to see.
Well, I will have to
Maybe,
say. Oh, go ahead, Newark.
yeah, I'm about to say maybe it'll change with the second one if it catch me.
All right, I
Better have
got you.
$200 ready because that's about how much the first one was if you
Foosh,
bought it from day one.
I
Oh yeah,
remember how heated you were, man. Like you were
Yeah,
mad, dude.
that
them
shit still got me
expansions.
heated. I bought it day one, ended up paying like $175 for everything from day one till whatever the last
Yeah,
expansion was.
the bad part about it is the core game is actually free to play.
What?
But when
Yeah,
yeah, it is. The core game is free to play. Like you can download it and play it, but you can't
it
get
didn't
far
start
in it.
out like that, but yeah, it
Yeah, it
is
did not. It
now.
didn't start out like that. It is now, but you would have to get like expansions, because actually when you play the free to
Because you're
play,
kind of like left
there's no one
behind.
on there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got you, man. I do want to say, and this is major shout out to O Snaps It's Mel. She is a huge. She was hyped for Destiny, like the first Destiny and stuff like that. We ended up not getting it. We were getting other games and stuff instead. I'm not sure if she's really into the Destiny 2 yet. I know we are getting the Destiny collection. We should have it by the 4th of this month. So it's kind of being shipped over to us. We got it on the PS4, so we're going to be playing it on the PS4, and we'll be able to dive in and see exactly what the new stuff entailed, the stuff that people said the original Destiny made that game so much better. And for people who follow the Next Podcast, you guys do know that O Snaps has been working incredibly, especially on Saturdays. Like she works until close on Saturdays. So big shout out for O Snaps. She was in the chat before. I know she's driving right now, so she's gonna kind of be in and out. But she was definitely a Destiny fan, and I kind of tried to convince her not to get it, and we ended up not getting it. But we are getting it for the PS4, and it should be here by the 4th. Mega, you want to go in? You want to get Destiny and go in with us, man?
Yeah. I lost my train of thought for a second. I mean, you said two things that I'm not that fond of, and I just lost my train of thought. So I'm just gonna have to
sit back and gather yourself, man. Just a little.
Yeah, I had to gather myself. Now I do have Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I got the deluxe edition because they had a good sale on that. And so I got that. If you want to jump in on that, I'm cool with that. But other than that,
no Destiny. That's all right. We have one partner that wants to get in with Destiny on the PS4, and
I hope I hope y'all future multi-plat purchases is on the Xbox, because I don't want to buy a PlayStation 4 to play multi-plats with my Xbox friends.
You know,
right? See, that's the thing. Now, I do have the whole Destiny pack on the X1. If you guys are interested and want me to play with you guys, hit me up in the chat. Now, sometimes I am really busy and doing other stuff, but man, please, because I paid this money for this game,
and I want to get mine.
I want to get something out of it. So if you guys are interested in playing some Destiny, I know Mooch is probably saying, thank you, Mega. But, other than that, you know what I'm saying? Golly, man.
I've tried to help you out, K-Mega. We went through some stuff, and then we never went back into it.
Yeah, we can go back into it, but see, me and Mooch had an agreement, and Mooch backed out of that shit. But of course, all that crazy shit happened. So he was like, okay, we're gonna go in here, and we're gonna help you get your skills up in the division, because I really like the division. And so he says, okay, well, we'll do it with Destiny. And then right before that crazy shit happened. But yeah, so I mean, I have no problem playing the games because the mechanics is fantastic, but. And like I said, it's fun playing with other people, but just me just turning it on by myself and going into and playing it, I have no interest. None.
That game totally depends on your friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like where the big draw is. And that's also one of the biggest flaws in the game is sometimes, unless it's your core group of friends, it's kind of a weird, like, people communicate with one another, but they're not just like in a party, not like in a public chat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can. So that's you can only play with two of your friends too, two other friends.
Yeah. So those are some of the issues with that game. But when you have everybody that's your friend, and you all get together, and especially when you do raids for the first time, like no one knows what to do, and you're working
you have to
together.
Jump into a quarter circle counterclockwise, and then
it's not like that, but I mean, that's where the game really shines, and it really does become something special. But the problem is those moments are few and far between.
All right, well. I don't know. When it comes to Destiny 2, like I said, I wanted to see gameplay, and unfortunately, with the reveal, they didn't show me gameplay, so I have to kind of reserve myself. I'm hoping that they did go in and listen to the gamer and change some of those core things. I think they did when it came to the lore, having the lore in the game, actually in the game, because if you notice the first part of the reveal, they're like, oh, we were in the meeting and somebody was talking about something and I have no idea what they were talking about and it had to do with it. It sounded like they were jabbing at themselves about kind of taking that backstory and putting it on a website instead of keeping it in the game. So I think that's going to be in the game, which that would get me a little more excited. All right. I want to be able to immerse myself in that environment. I mean, Bungie was known for that with Halo. All right, you got lost in that world, and I wanted to be able to do the same thing with Destiny, and that aspect with having kind of the lore on the website really didn't it came up short in terms of immersion for me. But the gameplay was always solid. I loved the gameplay. I loved the gunplay and stuff like that. 60 frames per second. That would be awesome. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen though. I mean, I
Hey guys, hit that like button, man. We
We
got
got a
people watching. Yeah,
we
yeah.
got a
We
beastly console coming out this fall.
yeah.
It will happen, bro.
hey, I
That
got you.
like at least on the Pro and the Scorpio, you probably get the 60.
Well, the pro struggles with frames, man. I've been watching kind of like analysis on PS4 games running on the pro, and it's one of those reasons why I'm comfortable that in our house, like Snaps picked up a regular PS4 because when it comes to frame rates and gameplay and stuff like that, I feel like the regular PlayStation 4 is still the more solid piece of hardware.
If you say PlayStation 4 one more goddamn
PlayStation
time,
4.
send your motherfucking ass to her.
I don't see
Stop talking about.
I don't
fucking
see a
PlayStation
reason to
4.
get a
Stop playing.
pro, man. Yo, when it looks like with the pro, what they're doing with the pro is they're sacrificing the FPS, the frames per second. They're sacrificing game performance just to get close to 4K and then upscale to 4K. I don't see a reason in getting a pro. To me, that is a marketing gimmick, and I feel bad for anybody who does that because when you look at these game analysis and you compare them between the pro and the regular PS4 or the PS4 Slim, a lot of times in the things that really do matter in the frames per second and stuff like that, the regular PlayStation 4 and the Slim are actually outperforming the Pro. You see what I'm saying? So I don't see, like, to me that whole pro thing is just a straight gimmick, and I feel bad for anybody who kind of fell for it, man.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
agree.
if it's a gimmick. It'll get better with time as they improve their API.
Oh,
The question
come
is
on
how
now.
long.
Come on
Well,
now, Don. Come on, look. Now I was joking about him saying PlayStation 4 and stuff. Okay, it's whatever. But look, this system it was a waste of money. I feel bad for the people that were the early adopters that bought that at its full price, and then it dropped 2 weeks later on Black Friday, and now the price has dropped again. Look, man, this thing is not up to standard of what they advertise to the fan base. That's the thing that's the reason. Now, if they came out and had it at a reasonable price, then I'm cool with it. But the fact of it is that they sold a bill of goods that was a bunch of lies, man. So it gets no respect from me.
You got
Well,
you guys
it-
checking
it
out
co-
this gameplay? I just really want to throw that in here.
Give me a break.
This game's crazy.
Oh
But go
yeah,
ahead.
I actually watched that stream. It was amazing, man. Like, I can't wait to pick this up though.
Yo, hell yeah! It's only $20, dude.
Is
Yeah.
that the Switch game?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
snipper
it's
clips,
good
man.
to play with your lady and stuff like that. Like it looked fun as hell.
Dude, me and Snaps, we were, oh man, it was absolutely hilarious. Like I said, a real good time with your better half, man. But my bad, I didn't mean
Nintendo
to
knows
derail
what
the
to do.
conversation there.
No, Nintendo just knows what to do, man. I mean, I'm just saying. It looks weird, but we'll see.
It does, man. Until you get the
Until you
Joy-Con in your hand.
understand, yeah.
Yeah.
It look like y'all trying to mate on the what the hell is going on? We
Make
don't do
little-
none of that garbage. This is a
Little baby use.
kid friendly. Yeah, this is a kid friendly podcast. What's going on here?
Oh
Like
man.
Snaps is trying to get some action. She busted your ass. Look at it.
dude, oh man, you gotta, yo,
Oh,
Mega.
man.
If you get a chance, you gotta go to her channel. You gotta check out the stream. You'll understand
All right.
when you see it, man. But yo, I think Newark brought up something, and I really want to get into that because with Destiny 2, there is a what they call a third party marketing deal with Sony. All right, and I know one of the things with it is DLC. I believe like the DLC will be out first on the PlayStation, and I think it's about a year or so before certain DLC will come out onto the Xbox. And it's a little weird this year because we have the Scorpio coming out, which is the more powerful console, which it looks like it's going to live up to the hype that everybody was talking about with it, where the multiplats are going to look and run better, like noticeably better on the Scorpio. So I want to know what you guys think about these third-party marketing deals, if you feel they're important, and then if you feel they're important, like with this situation coming around. and I know Mega has a lot to say on it. So I'm actually gonna hit a couple people before I get Mega. Mega, get everything in place, man. Get your speech
Mm-hmm.
ready because I know you
Oh,
got one for this shit.
woo.
Oh, let
Well,
me
I know
hold.
what he's gonna hit though.
Yeah, let me hit Foos first, man. Foos, what do you think about these third party marketing deals where, these companies that have the platforms like Sony, Xbox, they pay for these rights to promote the game on that specific on their platform.
I hate it. Honestly, I don't. I'm not a fan of the third party deals, the exclusive deal. I mean, I understand if, like how with Microsoft just had with Tomb Raider, if they publish the game and they want to keep it, exclusive for at least that year or so, I understand that. But other than that, I think it holds content and things back from the consumer, and I think it's wrong.
I got you. Now, when it comes to this year, knowing that Xbox is going to have kind of like the superior hardware, where the games will, at least have the ability to put in the PC textures and have, better lighting, better shadows, better basically what they call graphical fidelity. All right, and be able to perform better because the hardware is so much more powerful. Do you think that's gonna change anything when it comes to like Sony's third party marketing deals? Because from what I hear, they have marketing deals with Red Dead Redemption 2. Of course, the Call of Duty. I don't see anything that has changed with that. Battlefront. I don't see any change in that either. So they have like these third party marketing deals with some big hitters out there. When you see those commercials, you're gonna see PlayStation, 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 but they're actually gonna look and run better on the Scorpio, man. So do you think there's going to be any difference here in terms of you think people are going to see that they might run better on on the Scorpio and kind of go that route instead?
Well, for sure. I mean, if they're going to be, the console that shows this game or their game at the best fidelity that it can be and the best graphics that it can be, they're going to want to show off that platform. So yeah, I think we will see a lot of those games switching back over to Microsoft side because of that.
Well, what about the gamers? Because like I said, these marketing contracts are in place. So when it comes to kind of like I guess you could say the casual gamers, which is the biggest pool of gamers out there, they're gonna see the commercials and they're gonna constantly see PlayStation. But do you see like anywhere where Scorpio, because it's gonna look and run better? Do you see like the gamers deciding, hey, like we're gonna go over here? Do you think it's gonna make some sort of difference this time around? Because Scorpio is the more powerful machine.
Yeah, I think so there too. I mean, eh, the gamers are going to go there because it's the best performing and the best looking platform they can get that game on. And I feel that the casuals they either buy a Nintendo or they follow what the rest of the world is doing anyway. So I
All
think
right.
we will see that happen.
All right, well, that's interesting. And I feel I'm going to have to call on Mega a little bit earlier because I think he has a different twist when it comes to like multiplats selling to casuals and stuff like that. Yo, Mega, what do you think about third party deals? And do you think anything's going to be different this year with Scorpio?
Uh, yeah, well, this is the thing.
It's a tough question,
It
man.
is it is a tough question, but this is the thing right here, right? Uh, we talked about this last night on GRG, and then we talked about it on BGST as well. Is that you know some people's stance about the third party is it's what's moving the needle towards being the leader in consoles,
Hmm.
and I think part of that is absolutely correct. But with the power of the Scorpio, and by now with everything that we've everybody that's brought up something about Xbox has always had something to say negative from somewhere in the industry. If you notice, there has been nobody, and even GameStop hasn't said anything negative about the Scorpio. So right now we know that this thing is legit.
Hmm.
So if Xbox can somehow do a rope-a-dope by letting PlayStation spend all this money by advertising these games as being on the PlayStation 4, but then yet people will if you have a lasting visual of seeing it in actual 4K, that's going to resonate pretty damn dramatical. And what's really going to be crazy is that
Did he say dramatical?
Yeah, he did. That was awesome.
I was gonna let that one go. Sorry.
Dramatically. Sorry.
No,
Okay.
no, just own it. Just go with it.
Whatever. I fucked up. Yeah, I'm drinking. Okay, so anyway, so what the thing of it is that what's going to happen is that I think that what it might lead to is that the Xbox could get some of these third party back if Xbox wants to. Now, if it's up to Phil, and Phil says he doesn't want that, he wants to invest more money into the first party. Now, I'm in agreement with him, because that's what the gamers were screaming about this whole time, until all of a sudden it started changing, because PlayStation started finally having some games to publish and to bring out from their first party.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what it comes down to is that if you have the best looking visual third party game, you can still sell that point without having to spend that money. So I think it's a win-win for Xbox if Microsoft does it right. If Phil Spencer advertises it in a slick ass way, that's the only thing.
I was gonna say, Mega, because when it comes down to it, Sony with their third marketing deals, and we've talked about this in a couple kind of private DMs on Twitter and stuff like that. They're slick with their marketing deals. It's not just like, hey, we're putting the PS4 thing on the back of that. They're telling publishers like, oh, we don't want any other platform saying that this game is on their platform as well and stuff like that. So how are the kind of like the bigger group of gamers, the casual gamers, how are they going to see this difference in for not just 4K? I'm talking like graphical fidelity, like the major difference between these consoles and stuff like that. How are the casuals going to see that to have it make a difference, man?
Casuals don't care about that.
Well, no, yes they do.
They care about visuals. Yes, they do.
Look, all you have to do is just go back to a lot of the PlayStation, the Xbox 360 people that went from the Xbox One to the PlayStation 4 because of the fact that they thought that the PlayStation 4 was was that 50% more powerful than the Xbox One. So if you can look after E3, after they start showing visuals, this is what Xbox needs to do. They need to start throwing out, instead of talking about Nintendo and talking about the PlayStation, they need to go ahead and start showing gameplay clips of what their games look like behind Scorpio. It's up to the content creators that wants to show.
Great point.
Yeah, wants to show. Look, hey, this shit looks amazing. If you have an abundance of people that go out and show what the Scorpio can do, then the casuals is going to get it, because if you show it on Facebook, you show it on Reddit, you show it on Twitter, you show it on whatever that Daily Motion, you show it on any and every damn thing that you possibly can, it will resonate and people will start buying Scorpios, out the box. I mean, from day one, they'll be buying it. Did I say out the box? Yeah, that's this Crown Black talking.
I think our definition is different of casuals.
All right,
the casuals I'm talking about, they only play Call of Duty and 2K.
Well, if you show Call of Duty, if you show 2K, look, this is the thing that blew my mind, because they said that the games that's going to be in 4K is going to be Madden, it's going to be Call of Duty, it's going to be Destiny, it's going to be Red Dead Redemption,
Red Dead, yeah.
And then the first party is going to be Forza, it's going to be Crackdown 3, and I don't know, I didn't hear Sea of Thieves, but you get the point. It's going to be 4K everything, and that's going to make people like, whoa, like this is what I'm talking about. And that's going to definitely change everybody's perspective of what the Xbox brand is about. But it's Xbox has got to do it. The content creators has got to do it, and the fans of Xbox has got to do it. This has got to be
Yeah, exactly.
a unison thing from everybody that's a fan of Xbox to push this out and let this. Just like how PlayStation pushing out Persona and all these other games that. Yeah, we got to push it out. We got to.
Here's the thing, Mega. I agree with what you're saying. I think there is at least one thing, and it might sound small, but there's one thing that Xbox can do to kind of, I guess you could say, battle this whole third party thing. Is they need to change their demonstration kiosks in the GameStops, in the Targets, in the WalMarts, and they need to change them all to Scorpios. All right.
But like even with when they show like the videos of the games, like they're going to show the best version of the game.
Not if their contract says they can't. You see what I'm saying? That's where Sony is slick with their third marketing deals.
They grind you for that.
And they won't let you.
Not going to allow anything. That shit's going to be presented as pretty much as Sony
an exclusive.
Right. That's how they've been marking these games this whole time. So that's why Xbox is going to be hampered in that aspect. Even though they'll have the hardware, they'll show it a hell of a lot better. It's just the fact that it's up to everyone else to show it with Xbox staff as well. I don't want to be showing videos of Madden, especially, my God. And then I'm seeing Aaron Greenberg showing, oh my God, Days Gone looks amazing. That's not going to fly with me. I'll stop it. I'll stop. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. There is no time. Look, I you know what I'm saying? Love all gaming. I mean, I got my PlayStation 4, I got a gaming PC, I'm gonna get the Switch, I got my Xbox, all of that. It's all good. I get that. Game on everything that you love. But the fact of it is that look, you're a company, you're a Fortune 500 company, and look, act like it. Don't do all this unison shit because you're invested in some way, shape, or form because PlayStation is now doing PlayStation Now on the PC. Fuck that. It's time you want that system to sell, and you also want to sell Xbox One S's. So you better get out there and do your work.
I hear what you're saying, and I don't think because there's been rumors with Days Gone possibly coming out August 22nd of this year. I think by that time, and I've said this on BGST, I've said this over here. I think that whole kind of like that whole thing where they were promoting kind of like the Switch, they were talking about Horizon, they were talking about Zelda. I think they're using that opportunity as a strategy to kind of say that yeah, we are for the gamers no matter what. But when the shit hits the fan, when Scorpio's unveiled, when they need the Sea of Thieves has a release date, and they show more of Crackdown, I think then it's just pedal to the metal, all Xbox. And I think that's what Aaron Greenberg, that's what Phil Spencer, Mikey Barra, all them guys, I think that's what they're going to do. And to me, that makes sense. And I know, Mega, me and you, we've gone back and forth over this. Me and Z have gone back and forth over this. But I think I like it. I think it's a good strategy. But, different
I
strokes
agree
for different
to a certain
folks, man.
extent. Yeah. No, I'm talking about like wouldn't you feel a little bit like awkward? Like right now, I mean, it's a dry point right now for the for the X1 when it comes to exclusives. So, okay, I get what you're saying, but when you get to the talk of a Scorpio and you're talking about the games, let's say mid-August, and they're still doing this. We love everything.
Then it'll be awkward.
Yeah, thank you. That's all I'm saying. Enough is enough with it. It's cool to have to show that you love everything, that you're a true gamer. I'm a true gamer. We're all true gamers here. The fact of it is, though, is that look, you have to respect and love your brands
exactly
for everybody else to love and respect your brand too.
Yeah, and at that point, like I said, they're coming out with new hardware this year. They're coming out with new IPs. They're coming out with a bunch of new stuff that is Xbox. You know what I'm saying? So if they unveil the Scorpio and they give it whatever name, I think it's going to be in Infinity, Xbox One Infinity, but whatever name they give it, and they show the specs and they show the games on it. If at that point in time they go back and they're like, well, that Mario Kart 8 looks really good as well, it's not that time for that. It is time to promote your product. in the end, you're in a business, all right?
That's why but that's why you have to do the simple head nod, just one little tweet from the Xbox, Twitter, and that's it. You're done. You don't have to have every exec do it. So that's why I said it was so important. If you want to set the precedence there, right?
Mm,
You have to do it in a respectful way that encompasses everybody, but that has a little bit of weight, but not too much weight behind it.
all right.
So, because that's what allows them to do, like, they could be in the middle of kicking everyone's ass and, what, head nod to the new Mario, right? And it could be in the middle of everything, but, you can tell they're not being, like, dicks about it or anything like that. They're
Mm.
just, trying to make, you know, good piece of everybody
And
at
I
that point.
think I think that in the end that's what they're gonna do. Like there was a low when it comes to Xbox at the beginning of the year. They had the Halo Wars 2, which Mega, like I said, they should have promoted the shit out of that a lot more. All
It's a
right.
great game, man. I'm like, what are you doing? This is a really good game. Look, man, you can see, like, I'm impressed because Red Dragon. That's all his videos show is Halo Wars 2. It is a fun game. It's a niche game as well, but it's great. If people can brag about Persona, why the hell can the others cannot brag about Halo Wars 2? And that's the problem that I have right now is that look, you put a lot of money and time into that game. That story was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It was epic. Just show some love with that. Nobody's saying it's wrong for you to show love to Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a great game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or to show love to Zelda. It's a great game. In my opinion, it's going to be game of the year. But Halo Wars 2 should have got a hell of a lot more love. And before that, Dead Rising 4 should have got a hell of a lot more respect as well.
Yo, DR was, oh man, that was a great game. That is a great game. Like I'm acting like they're not even making it anymore. Yo, guys, if you haven't tried Dead Rising 4 yet, you definitely gotta somehow, some way find a way to play that. It's so much fun, man. That's the epitome of DR4. It's just out there having fun with like thousands of zombies around you, man. Um, I don't know. Well, the Don kind of chimed in. I want to hear what he thinks about these third-party marketing deals. We have a very unique, aspect with the Next Podcast because he is, kind of in the industry and stuff like that. He brings a developer's point of view when it comes to topics like this. So, Don, what do you think about these like third-party marketing deals? First of all, do you think they're good or bad? And then, do you think anything's going to change here? With the fact that with Scorpio you're actually going to have the better performing, better looking games on that hardware, but they don't have that third party marketing deal, man.
Well, I think the way third-party marketing deals were done last gen was a lot more balanced than what we have. I will say that, in the sense that they advertised on the hardware, they got that special promotion, they got that little boost, but it was a little more well known that are on when games were done that both on the Xbox side and the PlayStation side of things, that they were multi-plat, and so what that did is it helped the platform that was advertising it. It helped give shine to the actual game, but hindrance in sales between both platforms weren't hurt by it. If you know what I mean. I think.
Well, the Call of Duty during I'm sorry, but the Call of Duty during the 360 PS3 generation was pretty much known as an Xbox game. Like that, the sales and everything were heavy Xbox.
But they never went out of the way to say, to make it seem like it was never on anything else.
Yeah.
And honestly, in a lot of those deals were like a month or two for accessing DLC.
Mm-hmm. Not a year.
Yeah, who cares, right? So I think that's a type of marketing deal where it promoted growth. And I think that's good for the industry. I think what you have now, the way Sony's they're not doing anything illegal. I want to point that out. Like, there's not like they're doing anything technically wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how they word things, they make it seem like it doesn't exist anywhere else and it's certain psychological words. There's certain things, the way they do like promotions, like even stand-up promotions in a store, all that sort of stuff. And I think a lot. I think I've been on it. I know for a fact I've heard developer or people that worked at certain people that have deals in certain areas. They're kind of regretting those sort of deals because yes, it is a popular platform, but at the end of the day, it's not stemming growth.
Mm.
If that makes any sense.
Well,
Um,
I see what you're saying. Like last generation, it was about the game, and it really wasn't like it was marketed on one platform. Like with Call of Duty, it was marketed on the 360, but people knew it was multi-plat. In this generation, with the restrictions on the DLC, some DLC doesn't go to the other platform for like a year. And kind of like the promotion there, it's more or less putting the shine on the platform that is marketing it instead of the game itself, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
and sometimes they don't see the fruits of that labor, right? Someone buys the platform, but they don't necessarily buy the game, but they get excited about it for the short period of time. So,
That's
um,
interesting, man.
so for me, I think people are kind of thinking again about how things are done. I wouldn't be surprised in the next year or two you'll start seeing those contracts be negotiated differently. And the balancer in all this, and this relates to Scorpio, is now Scorpio is this other thing that people want to show their games on, right? I talked about how native resolution is a very marketable term, right?
Hmm.
Um, Obviously, it's been this whole entire generation, right? So if we're talking about 4K, there's really, for the most part, for what we know as of right now, as far as the public, there's really only one place you're probably going to see that, and that's on the Scorpio. So when you have that has more marketability than some of these third party deals. So you may see people are just like, you know what, I want to be shown on Nintendo, not Nintendo, but Microsoft stage, because I can show the 4K version of that game. And then you have Microsoft that's known not to have the same sort of strategy when they do sign those deals, right?
Hmm.
So you are going to see that shift, and I said this very very much before, that you can't underestimate the overall horsepower in the whole 4K element of Scorpio. It has more impact than people realize.
Mhm.
But we're just not there. We haven't seen it yet. It's going to happen.
And with the
But
market, but with the marketing deals and stuff like that, you're not really seeing it. Are you talking more like going into like next year and stuff like that? Because
next year, but you're also going to see people just like, hey, I want to announce my game, but I'm going to show it off on a Scorpio, right? Even though they may have a PlayStation deal, like you're going to start seeing some of this double standard stuff where
but with
maybe
Sony, they won't
some
be able
older
to, man.
but they'll probably see like footages showed on Scorpio, but advertised on a PlayStation channel. I know, I can see it right now happening.
But that'll just that'll confuse the consumer. It'll
Yep.
confuse the gamer that
No.
game will look like that on a PlayStation.
It
That's the
will.
whole point of the Scorpio. That's the whole point of why Phil is doing what he's doing by them making the Scorpio. Look, it can't be denied that the best looking title is the best looking games are going. Well, the games are going to look the best on the Scorpio.
Mhm.
It's going back to what PlayStation was lying to their customers and saying, look, 1080p. If you play on 1080p, you're a better gamer. And so, like, I know Phil in Xbox Nation will not go low like that, but once they show those games, like Don said, there are going to be people that's going to want to break their contracts. And then remember, there are a lot of people that don't have contracts with PlayStation like that. So they'll be trying to swindle some kind of deals. Now, I don't know if Phil is going to accept those, but I guarantee you that if they can get a chance to show their game on that platform, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
So you think
It's
I'm
also
right,
there's
Don?
also
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you're right. There's loopholes too to
Right.
those contracts as well. So
Mhm.
that's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see maybe Sony get more aggressive on their contracts, in a year
You,
after
no,
now because
I think they already did. To be honest with you, like I think they went back in when it came to like first of all Battlefront. It's Star Wars. All right, Star Wars. Like when they came out with the limited edition, like the Battlefront Star Wars PlayStation 4, there were people that bought that just because it was Star Wars. They
Right.
will
But it,
they will stranglehold that third party marketing deal.
they can advertise it all they want to, but if this Scorpio is what everybody is saying that it is, and you see that thing look like that on the Xbox, that's going to be like, that's the whole thing. What you were saying earlier, Bot, is that they have to have those stands to where they're showing all their games on the
On
Scorpio.
Scorpio, they got to change them
well,
all out.
Yeah. Don't show no Xbox One S shit. Show all Scorpio,
yeah,
and then put the PlayStation 4. People are going to say, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
but here's the other thing too. Like we talk about the streamers and people showing off things on 4K, right? Sony can have all the marketing deals they want, right? But they don't have any control over the content providers, right? You
Mhm.
guys, they don't
Mhm.
have any control over that. You guys
Mhm.
are all the wild cards. Everyone here on the podcast, everyone's listening. They have zero control over that. Microsoft knows and understands that. Why do you think they went so aggressive on the rumors with aggressiveness of the capturing of the gameplay and what type of quality to expect?
See, and
The-
that's my bad. You could keep going right out. That's one thing I respect about Microsoft and Xbox because they know today's day and age. If you can get the content creators that are on YouTube and they're streaming, and you can say, "Hey, on this console." Like we have the DVR capability and the streaming capability to give you that 4K 60 frames per second that you would only get in high-end graphics cards on your PC, but we have it in a console. And knowing that with today's day and age, there's a lot of kids watching YouTube, they're watching streamers, they're watching the content, and if they can get into that and be predominant as the console that streamers go to put out their games and their gameplay and their streams, that is absolutely huge.
yeah, and the
Massive.
reach of that it's unparalleled than any other time because if you look at every major media outlet, they know every year, every 6 months that goes by, their reach is dwindling. They know that.
Mm-hmm.
They have the numbers. They know what's going on that front. They know other people are going to other alternatives for their news or to get information in regards to games, right? So having that proof, having that solid, hey, this is what we can do, and just put up or shut up sort of situation, which is kind of the attitude that we're seeing from Microsoft, right? With even things said by Phil Spencer, wait until you see before
Mm-hmm.
you buy, right? You start seeing these sort of
I love that,
messaging,
by the way. I love that quote.
yeah, these sort of messaging techniques, because they know for the fact that you can't, once it's out there you can't stop it. It is what it is, right? It's native 4K. When they can actually put a box on the shelf, on the corner of the box, it says native 4K, and you look on that Walmart shelf of games that you have out there, and you have a bunch of games that are literally clearly marked native, not native but just 4K, and we know it's true 4K, and you look at the opposing side, the blue side of things, you don't see any of that. You can't argue the impact that actually has. That is huge. Now there are people going to get misled, and there are people going to buy the other console because maybe they prefer that ecosystem or those achievements, and those are people you just can't win over, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, the talk is going to be around Scorpio, and hardcore does have a lot of impact on that because they're the people that will go on YouTube, and those are the streamers, and those are the people that are in the limelight, and they're talking about gaming. So native 4K is huge. It is, you cannot be understated in regards to that.
Nice, nice.
Oh, you playing Halo 4. I'm like, okay, all right.
You like
I'm
that,
like,
right? That's the didact
hell
right
yeah, yeah,
there, man.
that's the beast right there. I'm like, whoa, had my ass running after
Dude,
that scene.
dude, the first time I saw him, when I saw like the face and what they did graphically for that character on a
Mhm.
360, my jaw literally hit the floor. I was like,
Yeah.
how the hell did they do this?
Well, this is the thing about what I know that we kind of go off a little go off a topic a
We
little
do
bit, but
that
this is the
from
thing.
time to time, man.
But this is the thing about Halo that stands the test of time. That is, the Rushmore of gaming is the fact that now 343 got a hold of it and put emotions behind it, and now added everything else with Halo Wars 2,
Mhm.
what happened with 4, what's going to come, what's coming on,
The multiplayer with
for the future.
5.
Yeah, the multiplayer with 5. All of this, it is going to be the most. Halo 6 could be, the way the game, the media is, it's trash. But you know what? Halo 6 got a chance to be game of the year because of how they could tie everything up
Dude, dude,
and get everything to spin off.
every
It's
Halo,
like stupid.
every Halo
Stupid.
after Halo 3 got criticized at first. Every
Mhm.
single Halo when it was launched, when it was Halo 3 ODST,
There was people
got
that hated it for.
criticized.
Remember,
Wait,
there was people that hated for.
That goes further back than that. Halo 2 was heavily criticized too. Even
Right.
though it was the most popular, people didn't like to play in the Arbiter. People didn't like how that thing ended. Like,
Right.
it's
People
always been
hated
a point of
for
controversy.
because they humanized Chief. That was the thing that I thought that was the greatest thing about it. Like, what are you talking about? This is what we've been waiting for. I was tired of him being some stiff, badass, kick-ass dude that every time that he fought somebody, he was going to whoop their ass.
Uh,
Here, he's humanized, and now so forth. He's not the same Chief that you knew from Halo 1 and Halo 2.
Well,
He is,
with
or
Ha-
Halo 3.
with
pretty
Halo
much.
1, 2, and 3, what Bungie was trying to do, and I kind of dive into a lot of Halo
I
stuff.
remember that shit. I was
All
getting
right.
fucked away. I said I didn't want to see that dude no more.
But yeah, but the thing was, the first 3 Halos, Bungie had the idea that they wanted to have you feel like you were Master Chief. So they kept the dialogue really low. They kept him very methodic, to the point, get shit done, and not talk a lot, because they wanted you to feel like you were Master Chief. When 343 took over, they looked at the entire Halo universe and what was going on. And the Halo universe is absolutely huge when it comes to the comic books, when it comes to the novels and everything like that. And they brought the human aspect back into it, because when you look at John and how he was abducted by his family and replaced by a clone that would die like a couple months later or whatever, and you see the human aspect of the Halo universe, it was just a natural progression to make him a person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And a lot of people,
Right.
a lot of people
He's-
didn't like that. Yo.
He's still John Wayne in space, right? Like,
Right, and
he's
that's
still
and
a man of less words and more.
right. And this is the problem, though. Like, look, I'm looking at Smiley. I was gonna make a little nasty comment to Smiley's ass, and I love Smiley, but you fucking up because you know I love Agent Locke, motherfucker. But no, this is the thing right here now. But this is the thing, because of Halo 1, 2, and 3, is because of the fact they made him John Wayne in space. People look at Locke as like this sub little less
Durango.
human. Yeah, like what? Who is this peon that cracked Master Chief's shield? He's not shit. And I've read the lore, and look, me and Jay Centuries has gone over this a million times, right? The fact of it is that because they're humanizing him because of the situation with Cortana and everything else that's coming up with Atriox and all the rest of the beings, that's the villains that's in this epic ass story, he can't do this alone. Him and Blue Team cannot do this alone. There's no way, shape, in hell. And Agent Locke, regardless if you hate him or if you love him, he is going to help Chief out. And this is, I think, is the one reason to spawn and to make Agent Locke and their team go out there and have their own saga as well. And
You know what's funny about whole
that's great.
Locke is he follows literally the same formula as Master Chief, a person with less words, and then he started with doing his duty
Master
first
Chief in the
before.
early days, man.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was,
exactly.
yeah.
So he's literally Master Chief rebooted, right?
Right.
And everyone's like hating on him. Like I'm like, give me a break. You can't like Master Chief and hate Locke, right? Like the two
Right.
go hand in hand. They literally follow the same formula. Like I'm a big fan of Locke too because he does
Yeah.
bring a slightly different element to it, and he
Right.
has
Yeah.
to overcome everything with a little more cunning than pure brute strength like he has,
Right,
right?
because he wasn't the first of John's kind. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they're like, oh, because he's not the first gen whatever of these Spartans. I get that, and he had to come from the ground up, and he's established himself.
He wasn't trained
Like,
as a child either.
he wasn't trained as a child. He came into this. If you watch if you bought the Halo Master Chief collection, and you seen that
Don't look at
that
the chat,
movie.
man. Smiley killing it. Don't look at the chat, man.
Yeah, you know what? I don't give a fuck what Smiley saying. I love you, Smiley, but you ain't gonna change my outlook on how I feel about Locke. The fact of it is that look, this dude is doing it from another direction, and this is just like real life shit. Like we're talking about this is almost, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but it's almost more believable to me than like some RPG where you gotta build some shit from within. You know what I'm saying? This is like Star Trek from outer space. I love this shit. This is crazy.
Nice.
And the thing of it is that with having Lock in and having that team, that adds more life to the Halo saga. How many times would you want to see Master Chief keep showing his green ass over and over
All the time, man.
and
What are you talking
over
about? You don't
and
talk
over?
about Master Chief like that, man. But
Right. Well, I'm just saying. Well, how many times you want to see Master Chief keep making a game when you can spread this out and have it branch into what Halo should have been branched out to a long time ago? That's what I'm saying.
I
You know
got
what
you.
I'm saying?
I think with Locke there with Team Osiris and Blue Team, and there are other Spartans out there. With how they're setting everything up, with having like Atriox and his crew there, with having Cortana running all the Forerunner technology, with Halo, the Halo rings lighting up and activating and stuff like that. You got to remember the first 3 Halos were just against the Covenant, and we almost lost. Right? We
Right.
almost lost, and to have all these different things happening now, and you still have kind of like breakaway groups of Covenant that are still kind of like extremists on that side. Having all that going on in the universe, Master Chief isn't going to do it all. You know, and have Blue Team there and Team Osiris, and to be able to have a squad of Spartans with Buck and all them guys as well. I feel like Halo 6 and beyond is just going to go through the roof when it comes to the story and how climactic everything gets and how over the top and how kind of like extreme the situations become, man.
Right. And that's the thing that I don't understand. Look, Don Matrick. Whoa, I'm hearing my voice come back. Damn, somebody got me. Anyway, I like hearing my voice. But anyway,
that's how you rev up K Mega.
Yes.
Oh.
No, anyway, no. The thing of it is with this is that Don Matrick was really great at advertising. I think more so than what Killer Phil is doing. But there are games that I think Killer Phil would have let happen, and I've seen somebody bring that up. I think that was Supersonic. Yeah, that Halo MMO should have been out there. You know what I'm saying? Just because you could have added the lore, because there's a lot of people that didn't read the books, that didn't watch the movies. But if you put that into a game form, people would play that, and if you added that in and implemented that in, you could have had a lot more people invest into the Halo infrastructure into a point to where they would know everything about what's going on with Halo and have a better understanding of what's going on, in my opinion. So Killer Phil, I don't know if any Xbox executives or anybody listening to us, but come on, man. Let's go ahead and bring back that Halo MMO so we can get a rich, defined meaning of what the whole Halo saga is all about.
All right, I got you. And guys, I just want everybody in the chat and everybody who watches the show afterwards, you just got to realize when you have me, Newark, Fuskies, the Don, like when you have all of us together talking about games and stuff like that, there is always a chance that we're just going to go off on a Halo tangent, all right? And that's pretty much what you just saw right there.
Sorry, guys.
Nah, it's all good, man. It was really good conversation. Like I said, you get us all together, there is always a chance that we're just gonna go off on Halo real quick. I
just saw that gameplay and I just got goosebumps because I remember that point. Like, oh shit, who is this? What the fuck?
Yeah, there hasn't been a villain like that in a while on the Halo game. It's like, damn,
Like,
that was good.
You're really like, oh shit, like I am screwed right now. Like he just picked me up like nothing. But yo, going off, yo, Don, there was something about the Nintendo Switch, that you kind of wanted to dive into. So I'm actually I want to like kind of give the mic over to you and you kind of present what's going on and kind of how you feel, and then maybe go down the panel and ask a question or two to us. So if you would like to do that, man.
Yeah, I'll set the stage and I'll let you kind of take the mic from there, if you know what I mean.
No doubt.
So this article actually brought everything together from game industry without biz. This is where it's actually a place that everyone can go to, but it's really mostly for developers.
Okay.
So it's actual journalism. Not what you see at IGN or anything like that. So it's actual journalism. So if you're interested in elevating yourself, it's a great place to go. Also, Game of Sutra, both sites actually talked about this. But one of the things that came up with Nintendo, and it's just coming to light now, is its cartridge format. It is actually much more expensive, and the cost is basically being passed on to the developer. So, which puts the developer in an interesting position, right? So, either they can swallow the cost, and this is something I actually talked about before we actually saw what the Switch was going to look like. This was one of my major concerns. I called it, and now it's actually happening. So, the development cost is being passed to the developers for the actual cartridge cost itself. So the developers left with two choices: either they swallow the cost, or basically they charge the consumer $10 more for the product. To kind of put it in perspective, so instead of a $69 game, your game is going to be $79 on the shelf. And that could be anything from, let's say, like a version of Madden. Let's say like EA wouldn't swallow the cost and then pass it on to the consumer. So that would make the Switch copy $79 versus the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 one, which would be your typical $59 or that sort of thing. So
do you think that's going to happen though?
It's definitely a way of possibility. You also got to keep in mind anything that's done physical is also going to be passed on to their digital store. So if it costs this much in a store, it's going to cost that much on their digital front as well. So this does an interesting thing. So we talked about third party, but the other thing is indies, right? Xbox went to the PAX, right?
Dude,
talked to a
awesome
lot of indie developers, and they're interested in actually developing it on Switch. This affects them more than anybody else because these are the people that actually Nintendo needs to get on board, because some of these bigger games are just not going to be possible on the machine. So these smaller titles, these smaller in scale titles are like basically the golden goose for Nintendo Switch. The problem is that indie developers either going to have to charge $10 more for their product versus their other two platforms they can do it on, or they'll have to swallow the cost, and they don't have the typically the money to swallow the cost on that. And so these are kind of the chinks in Nintendo's armor in regards to the Nintendo Switch. And I understand why they did a cartridge format. It makes sense for a portable device. I get that. But these are the repercussions of that. So that kind of set the
I,
stage. What's going on? What we're going to be seeing in the very near future in regards to Nintendo Switch. This is not a rumor. This is happening right now as we speak.
it's a lot of nitpicking on Nintendo, man. Like the industry need to cut it out, bro. Like for real.
Well, I mean, that's what happened Nintendo 64 versus PlayStation.
I understand,
PlayStation,
but this considered as a handheld, right? One of the most successful device. Nintendo have handheld consoles that use like the same cartridge,
That
yes,
the
is
but
true.
same type cartridge base, and nobody's complaining, and it's outselling everything. But
but
nobody
it's
complaining now because the quote unquote the new Nintendo Switch came out, and that's crazy to me though.
well, the industry's not
Nobody's
nitpicking.
gonna play Madden on Switch. Nobody's gonna play a Nintendo Switch is a secondary device. Nobody's gonna play these mainstream games on a Nintendo Switch.
Well, I don't know. A lot of
Like
people got excited when they saw NBA 2K
Yeah,
playing on
I
the
was just gonna
Switch.
say, yeah, if you could take NBA
you got people,
2K
you got the
or
Wii U
Madden
weirdos
on the
that's
go,
excited that don't
no,
want nothing else but
no, no, no,
Nintendo.
no, no, no.
So
That I
so
have to
you're gonna
disagree.
get
I have to
so
disagree.
you're gonna get I mean probably gaming on the go. So you're gonna get 2K on the Switch besides the Scorpio
If I can, you
or
know what
a
I'm saying,
PlayStation.
with the opportunity for me to play online, if you know what I'm saying, because I know they got a weird online system. For me to play online when I'm at downtime at work and I could throw a quick game of NBA 2K and try to, well, I'm not as good as NBA 2K as I used to, but in Madden, I'll whoop your motherfucking ass.
But don't PlayStation got something like that
I'll
though?
go in there and I'll
Remote
bust
play.
ass like fast at work. You can't, no, hell yeah, I'm going to be all excited about that. Yeah, yeah.
Well, see,
I mean, don't.
guys, hold
But
on, Newark. I want to pose this real quick, and then you could take it from here. I'm actually going to put it to you.
okay.
Remember, you said there are different types of casuals out there, and one type of casual you pointed out is kind of like the Call of Duty players or somebody like that. Now, when it comes to the casual market, which is bigger than the hardcore market, like by a huge number, right? And you put out that you have a machine that will play your lighter casual games plus play what they call those sports casuals when it comes to the NBA 2Ks, possibly the Maddens and stuff like that. There are different types of quote unquote casuals, and with the Switch, it does kind of adhere to a few of those groups as well, man.
Nah, the casuals that play 2K. I look at YouTubers like Cash Nasty or Soul Illuminati. You know what I mean? Like people who casual gamers who play 2K, but they're YouTubers. You know,
Hmm.
this game you could be a casual, but you could be a hardcore for that title. You get what I'm saying? Like you're a casual gamer that only plays 2K, but you're a hardcore
2K play.
2K gamer.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So and with the Nintendo Online, I mean the Switch, it would be good for 2K as far as being on the go, like what Mega said. You know what I'm saying? But nobody's buying 2K for that,
Yo,
man. Nobody.
I gotta shout out Reprobate, man. My bad, but he was like, it can't play NBA 2K, but it can play NBA Jam. Yo, like,
But but honestly, like the Switch is for Nintendo first party, man. Like all these, I don't understand. I don't really know. I guess the memory of a cartridge is up to 32 gigabytes on the Switch,
Yeah.
but the it looked like a Nintendo DS cartridge.
hmm
So I'm not understanding when they talk about cost.
Yeah,
Like
well,
they
it is more
it's new
costly.
tech. It's different technology than the DS
Yeah, you
cartridges.
also
So.
got to keep in mind, like in comparison, I'm just doing numbers here. And in Newark, I want you to definitely express where you're coming from. But
okay,
like a disc is like literally several cents. So we're talking about under a nickel to produce a Blu-ray disc, right? That's really where we're at, and that's with inflation in mind, and that's a conservative number. It might be cheaper than that, right? So um, you're literally talking about a $10 discrepancy that's going on there. So it, do you really want to, I mean, I know you would buy it for first party, but the problem is Nintendo and any platform provider, they make a platform because the majority of the money they actually make is off third party. That's actually where they make the most money.
Yeah.
is given them the rights to produce on that. So this does hinder, which has always been a problem with Nintendo in the past, which is third party support, regardless if it's a port from a more powerful console or its own game that only plays on that platform. So will you, I mean, as a consumer, would you be okay spending $10 more for your whatever your portable Switch version that can be played on the go, or is it, or are you okay with absorbing that cost because you're the consumer, right? You're the one who has to pay for that.
Um, I mean, I understand how the cartridges. I'm like, my thing is the pricing. The $10 extra is some bull, but for a first party title, like like a game my wife is waiting for, like Mario Kart or something like that. Like, I mean, we probably wouldn't mind because that's not going to be like a main console where we purchase all the games. But I don't know. I
Gotcha.
still remember the day I almost paid $100 for Killer Instant Gold, man,
Yeah, I remember that
on the
too.
Nintendo 64. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, as far as third party goes, I don't think it will hurt. The pricing of the cartridges will hurt
Okay.
Nintendo, but as a consumer, I don't think it would be like a main console. Like,
So
oh, I'm
it
gonna
would,
purchase this here instead of getting it on my console.
you don't perceive it hurting you because you mostly buy the first party, the Nintendo Elite titles is as a
Yeah,
consumer, right? Okay, gotcha.
yeah.
All right. Well, um, I don't know. When it comes to this, like, first of all, I appreciate what Don's saying about this, and it's true. The manufacturing costs of the cartridges are more. And before we actually move down to the panel, I want to give another shout out to O Snaps because we talk about. For people who don't know, we have a direct message on Twitter and stuff like that. So everybody goes in and talks about the topics and stuff. When and we see who wants to talk about what and everything like that. And O Snaps said something when I said about the Switch and the cartridges because she asked if the DS cartridges if they were compatible with the Switch, and I told her no. And then she was like, well, what if they make an adapter? And I thought to myself at first, I was like, well, how are you going to make an adapter on something that would be handheld? I was like, that doesn't make sense. But then again, she was like, well, you can make a cartridge that you put the DS in that will fit the Switch. And I thought about the 32X back in the day with the Genesis, and I was like, yo, that makes sense. And I think at some point in time they might actually do that to play DS
Yeah.
games as well on the
I know they're
Switch.
gonna be in the eShop though. I heard that the Switch is supposed to get every Nintendo console in the eShop.
Yeah, that's also crazy. But with that being said, yo, Foos, we haven't heard from you in a while. What do you think about these manufacturing costs? So first of all, the cartridges cost more, all right, and I guess it's trickling down to the developers. What do you think about like these Switch games having the possibility of being like $10 more to us, the gamers, man?
Yeah, I'm sorry about not being here much. I've been getting a lot of botting going on, so I didn't. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, you're fine now,
All right,
crystal
cool.
clear.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of botting going on. I don't know what's up. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's $10 more is a lot of money to me.
Now it
But
hasn't it hasn't happened yet. I do
It's
want to
better than
throw
two
that
hundred
out there.
dollars on Destiny.
right?
Got
Oh,
him.
Yeah.
Got him.
burn,
Son.
Got it.
And
burn. Oh,
no, I'm just messing with you fools.
yo,
No, I feel
Newark,
you.
that was valid right there, man. Like that is a good point, though.
Well,
It's
yeah,
so
New
true.
York brings a really good point because once if they release the games at normal price and then they kind of nickel and
Free
dime you
DLC.
with microtransactions afterwards, that's also a possibility of
Mm,
how they'll make up cost. So
that as well, man. Damn, like this is full brainstorming event live on the show.
I was
Um.
waiting for this topic though.
Yeah.
So, Foos, do you think it would happen though? Do you think it would happen? Do you think people would pay $10 extra for Switch cartridges?
Yeah, I think anything's possible. You know, I definitely think that they'll still pay that $10 extra. I mean, I remember back when like we were talking with N64 games, like Killer Instinct Gold was $100, just to get it. So a lot of people still bought it, and if you really want the game and that's what it is, that's what you're gonna do.
Nice, nice. Yo, Mega, you've been kind of quiet on this, man. I know you're kind of backed into the corner by your better half, and you're about to get a
Mhm.
Switch. So what do you think about the possibility of these cartridges being like 10 extra bucks, man?
I find it to be disheartening. Just for the mere fact of this. Look, nobody. If you can get it, if you can get okay, this is like I was talking about Madden or
Oh yeah,
2K.
yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. If you're talking about Madden or 2K, and it's $10 more on a platform that is less powerful, it's going to make me more reluctant to buy that game.
Mm.
Um, but for it, but it's all good for first party Nintendo titles. So it's like they've forced you to be in a position to like, look, we're not worried about the third party titles. We're only worried about our first party titles. So and what's sad is that yeah, if I see a Metroid or a Smash Brothers or a
Metroid,
Pokemon,
Metroid all
you
day.
know what I'm saying? $10 more, I'm gonna cop it. And you know what I'm saying? And the difference between that, see, I don't have the Switch, but I know with just everything else they have, they have DLC, but Nintendo, I don't I don't ever see them really having a lot of DLC to their content. So I think that they'll just do what they do and just have the game.
Oh, Zelda got DLC, right?
Does it? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't have a Switch. I
yeah.
don't have a Switch, so I
Zelda
don't know.
Zelda got
I
DLC.
have I have not bought the last Nintendo product that I bought, and it was for my daughter. It was a Nintendo Wii, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? And for my son and me, I bought the GameCube. I have not bought another Nintendo product since then.
Mm.
So so for me, it's kind of like, you know what? Only thing I could buy from them is the first party. The one thing that I was excited about the Nintendo aspect because they was going to be bringing out a lot of JRPGs, a lot of those Japanese games that like I would hope that they would bring back Chrono Cross. I would love for them to bring back Chrono Cross, but I don't know, man. I don't know, but $10 more, and then you add the DLC on that. That's not a good look. That's not a
Mm.
good look whatsoever.
I got you, but you did say with games like Metroid stuff like that, you would gladly
Oh
pay
yeah,
that 10 extra
I would be
bucks, man.
gladly to pay for the first party, and I think that's what Nintendo is
Yep.
looking at. Is like, look, we're going to make an extra $10 on these new IPs because a lot of people are going to buy Pokemon. A lot of people is going to buy a new Smash Brothers. A lot of people are going to buy Mario. A lot of people are going to buy Splatoon. And I look at it like this: if I'm going to pay, like, if I buy, I don't know, like the wrestler WWE 2K17, for instance, right? I'm looking at it right now on Xbox, and I want to pay the DLC. I'm paying $100, but if I'm paying $10 more and I'm getting a lot of content from that game from Nintendo's first party, it's not so bad.
Mm.
But for multiplats, I'm not even thinking twice about it. I'm not even buying it. It's a waste of time to me.
All right, so now Don, going back because you're the one, you started this topic and everything like that. Hearing what everybody said, you have K Mega basically saying if it's first party and it's a game he wants, he'll gladly spend, and that's pretty much kind of like what Newark said as well. If it's first party and it's a game that like him and his wife want to pick up, they'll probably fork over that $10 extra. You have Fuski basically saying, if the gamer wants the game, they're gonna pick it up. Are these the reactions that you would think when bringing up a topic like this, Ben? What do you think about the
Well,
reactions from the panel?
yeah, well, we all know Nintendo's strengths has always been their first party. I don't think anybody that either a fan or an anti-fan of Nintendo, right,
Mm-hmm.
would disagree like that's their biggest strengths over really any other platform on the market, right?
Mm-hmm.
My major concern is third party. It's always been with third party with Nintendo.
That's always
Um,
an issue, man.
yeah, it's always that question mark, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's my concern. As much as and I've openly said I'd rather have Nintendo go to just making software versus hardware, and I always like their software, but never a huge fan of their hardware.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't want to see them go out like that. You know what I mean? I want to see them be as successful as possible. And the way to do that is getting third party support either in unique titles or ports, right? And this is one of those things on the unique title where they'll do well, or on those smaller teams, because there's not like B-level games anymore, right? It's either AAA or indies, right?
Yeah, there's no mid.
There,
There's no
there's no
middle.
mid anymore. So you know, they really are dependent on indie, and this is a huge concern.
Mm.
Because even if they go digital, they still kind of get that charge, because it's
Well,
trying to protect that relationship with the brick and mortar
well,
stores. So
Don, when
it's
it
just
comes to indies and the physical disc versus the digital, I will let you know there is a game coming out. Uh, the development team, I believe, is headed by Adam Sessler. It's a game called Friday the 13th, and
yeah.
this is the first game that I've seen. It's one of the reasons why I'm actually kind of like backing this game and stuff like that. Friday the 13th. If you buy the game physically, I believe it's a $60 title,
The
right?
great Adam Sessler is working on that Friday the 13th
yeah,
game.
yeah.
That's
He's
what
headed
he's
the
been
Oh
team.
doing.
my God!
Now-
I'm buying that
Now,
game
and
right now. I didn't know that.
here's the Adam Sessler point to this. If you buy it digitally, because there's really no manufacturing costs or anything like that, it's $20 less. So you would get it $40 digitally, and I believe $60, for a physical copy. So
I think
Oh,
That's how it
shit.
needs to be.
Yeah, see,
Is,
that's the thing.
is it
Not
already?
every gamer
Is it
would
already?
prefer to
Is it
be-
already ready to buy? Because I'm gonna buy.
no,
it.
it's actually Snaps has been in the Discord for it, and
Mhm.
she actually pre-ordered it. She was a part of like that I guess you could say like that Kickstarter program as well.
I'm going to Discord right here in a few minutes, and then I'm going
I-
to go ahead and I'm going
but
to buy
it's-
that.
it's-
'Cause
it's-
there's no,
it's
I love
close-
Adam Sessler.
It's
Anything
close
that
to
he
being
does.
done though. I think the whole Kickstarter thing is pretty much over with, and
Mhm.
I think they're going through certification right now.
Mm.
Or hitting the last stages of certification. Like Snaps believes this game is going to be out fairly soon.
My boy Cyclonus has been showing a lot of shout out to Intro Media Gaming. My boy Cyclonus, he has been showing a lot of interest in that game. He's been showing gameplay,
Mhm.
and
It
I've
looks
been.
really
It
fun.
looks awesome.
It
fun.
looks awesome. But it's kind of but you know what? I reserve back because I think about Evolved, and I'm like, look, I was.
But here's the
excited
thing:
about Evolved.
Adam Sessler is a part of the project. That
Right,
gives me
and you said Adam Sessler, the king of reviewing one of the most important gaming icons to me. I mean, like he's one of the people that inspired me to get into doing YouTube. I love Adam Sessler. He is a monster to me.
Mm,
Golly, so I gotta support whatever he's doing.
yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. So, but see, that's
A
the
little
thing.
bit of
Like,
a man crush going on. huh?
yeah,
Yeah, outside
Oh,
of
no.
being a man crush here.
No.
You answered the
Hey,
earlier
if you
question.
want to say it's a man crush, you can say whatever. I mean, Adam Sessler, he was one of the last people that brought true reviews to gaming, other than this trash that we're seeing right now in game reviewing. I mean, that man is
I'm not going to disagree with you there.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
either.
He's a professional for sure.
he is a
No doubt.
professional. He is intellectual. He is smart. Well, I already said intellectual, but he's
damn,
He'll
said
tell
it
you the
twice.
truth.
Yeah, he's the truth. And I'm like, golly, he's now getting into game development. I got to support anything that this man does, man. I am a huge fan of Adam Sessler, no doubt.
Welcome to the Adam Sessler Love Podcast, and no, yeah, no, but for real, like
Adam Sessler. Hit K
Adam
Mega
Sessler is love.
But yeah,
yes, I have much love for Adam Sessler.
well, that
Oh
was
my
that was
God.
one of the first things that got me, because like I'm into Friday the 13th, but like to hear that he was the one kind of like that put together the development team and got everything going and stuff like that. That's what really got me to look at this game, and then to see the practices, which I want to go back to Don with. Indie development team, they're doing full price for the physical disc, but $40 for digital. Now, if this takes off, it could mean something for games to come out in the future. They could come out cheaper digitally. I see where you're coming from with the indies, and I believe this is a very important thing with the Switch. and I want to throw this at Newark real quick. With all this being said, and with the Switch, all right, the big Maddens and NBA 2Ks, you say, when it comes to Switch, people don't want to really play that. But when it comes to the indies flesh out that gaming library on the Switch, that space in between Nintendo's first party. So do you think that like charging like more money for the indies in terms of cartridges, you think there won't be an effect there?
Yeah, it would be an effect. That's where the BS comes in at when you charging, indie developers. But most of the indie games are digital. Like from what I was seeing on the eShop, that a lot of the games are the same prices on the Xbox Marketplace, like the Neo Geo games. There's some that's like $40. I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? I think I bought the F-Zero type sequel game. I forget the name of it, RMX, and it was $20.
Mm.
But it was worth it. It's a nice game or whatever. But there's some titles in the eShop that's like $40, and I'm like, this is trash. Like, it shouldn't be $40. So maybe that's like sort of an impact.
I
But I
got you,
don't I
man.
don't think they're indie developers. They're up and coming. I don't think, and most of the indie games don't release physical, but you said that the physical prices, like even the AAA game, the physical prices also affect
Yeah,
digital
it's
prices. So
it's reflecting it onto the digital front because they want to preserve that relationship with retailers.
Hmm.
Is what I'm hearing. So, and it's not that like the indie developers pocket it or anything like that. It's either going to Nintendo or going back to the retailers. Is the also the other rumor. So, um, it's one of those things like I don't know. Like I'm more curious about what you guys think. I know how it affects the relationship with the developers, and basically at the end of the day, if they can't make their bottom line right,
Hmm.
they're gonna move on because a lot of these guys are they're making their games out of their dollars in their own pocket. In regards to that, so that's hugely concerning because I just want people to be able to if they buy a Switch, right, like or a secondary or a first console, I want them to get the most out of that system,
Mm.
and the only way to do that is actually get games. And if it costs more, that's something that hinders all that all the time.
I think it's really interesting. I think one of the parts of this topic that makes it really interesting is as you're seeing the games come out, you're not seeing anything yet. In terms of $10 more, of course, we haven't seen a lot of like, if any, third-party support on the Switch as of yet either. So it'll be interesting to look at in the future because if these third party publishers like Activision, even EA, I know EA has actually polished up kind of like uh the way
Their
people
image.
yeah, their image as of lately with the EA access and stuff like that, and what they're giving back to gamers. They're not frowned upon as much anymore as they used to be, but Activision is still wearing that tag and almost wearing it proudly, right? So
eh,
it'd
sorry
be
to cut you off. Hey, Xbox.
yo, what's up?
Um, what was the reason of games going from $50 to $60 on like PlayStation and
Uh,
Xbox and stuff like that?
it's just
Blu-ray, wasn't it? Blu-ray?
Nah, because it
No.
Blu-ray didn't come to
I
Xbox
think
It,
I
until
think the amount
this
of
gen.
time
oh, that's right.
the amount of
It was
The
time
cost
last
of
one.
it was
Or
cost
the
of development.
yeah, the
So
amount of
that
time, the amount of people and stuff like that, when it was coming to developing these games, they're taking a lot more time, a lot more resources and stuff like that compared to the previous generation. So they thought they could kind of, you know,
So do you think we're gonna have a price hike? Because these
I
new
don't
consoles is insanely powerful, and the cost of development is gonna go
I
up.
don't think so. I don't think
cost of
so.
development's around the same actually because how last gen was developed in this gen is virtually the same.
Mm.
They build
Aw.
uh they build really high end assets, and then basically what they do is they optimize those assets down to what an engine can actually handle. So the process is actually the same. The difference is they don't have to optimize as much. So
Hmm.
really, the costs offset one another. They're about the same on the development side of things,
Well,
and that goes with
Okay.
Scorpio as well
well,
in PlayStation Pro.
the next
So
the next kind of media that, like, we went from like the standard discs to the Blu-rays. Now what you're seeing is digital, which should actually cut manufacturing costs kind of like out of it or whatever. So if anything, I would see a drop. And the funny thing is, like, Don brought this up, and it's a serious issue. I don't necessarily agree with him. I don't think that at any point in time these cartridges are actually going to be $10 more. The only area where I am concerned for that is what Don said with the indies. All right, because you have, kind of like, there's a lot of developers out there chasing a dream. Getting a team together, trying to get something out there to get noticed and stuff like that. And if they have that extra manufacturing cost, because let's be honest, like, when it comes to the Switch, what I think is going to happen with the Switch is it's going to depend on its first party, and then it's going to depend on the indie community to flesh out its library. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't believe in this third party support for Nintendo. Just the system memory is so little compared to the others and stuff like that. There would be so much more work to be put into the Nintendo Switch version of a multiplat and stuff like that. I just don't see that being the norm. All right, so to me, it's Nintendo first party and indies. All right, and I'm concerned for the indies because they can't absorb those costs, and if they can't absorb those costs, you're not going to have those developers there to flesh out that library. So that's
uh,
the concern for me.
let me make this clear. I don't really know which direction it's going to go,
Yeah.
but but Nintendo took a stance of where the cost is going to go. It's going to go to the developers, and it's going to be the developers' choice of what they're gonna do.
Mhm.
And it's whatever they do on that, it's also going to be affected on the digital front as well. So you know, you know, it, you're right. It 100% affects the indies in every single form or fashion, and it makes them look twice if they're going to release on that platform. In regards to that, because they either have to absorb the cost, right, whatever the trend is, or they're going to pass on that cost to the consumer. And let's be honest, one of the reasons why people like indies is because they're a budget game,
Mm.
and sometimes that's part of the appeal of an indie, right? Like they know they're not gonna, it's not gonna be this long drawn out game. It's like a fun game they're gonna buy for $20, right?
Well,
Once you
Don,
make it 30, that's harsh.
Don,
That's
one of the,
harsh.
one of the games, one of the games that pushed kind of like me and O Snaps over the edge to get a PS4 is basically an indie game. Now, granted, the developer is Double Fine, and Double
Hmm.
Fine, they are more well known. They've had a few titles out that have been successful and stuff like that. But a game called Gang Beasts, right? It like, we went to see if it was coming out on Xbox, and there was no information on that whatsoever. We knew it was coming out on PS4, and that was kind of like that straw that kind of, it did it for us. Like, we went and we, got that console because of that. So they're indies they do have a place in the gaming community. It's becoming an even more important place as time goes by. And I think with the Switch, it is absolutely important because I don't believe in that third party support kind of like bullshit. Like, I believe there might be a few in the beginning, but like I said, the hardware, the system memory, and everything like that, it's so different compared to what else is out there. I don't think they'll take the time to truly optimize for the less memory and stuff like that the Switch has.
Well, smaller scale games, you think portable anyways, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like the two kind of go hand in hand. It's almost like a peanut butter and jelly combination there, right? So yeah, I mean, it's just something to come up. It's something to be aware of. And so if people wonder why third party support's not happening on the indie scene, they know why.
Mm.
This is the reason why. If their games are costing $10 more, well, this is the reason why. In regards to, and these are decisions that people that are making games are trying to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to that, and it's not like there's really a solution from Nintendo's side of things either, because they're basically, I think, given the hardware at cost. mean, this is what it cost them. So this is just like $10 is $10. It just is what it is. So it's not like they're picking on them or anything like that.
All right, yo, I gotta say, huge shout out to Noble Addiction. Yeah, he when talking about Gang Beasts, he said that me and Mel should hit him up and his wife Jaded, and we are gonna go couple versus couple when that game comes out on the PlayStation. So, guys, be on the lookout for that because I have a feeling we will be streaming that because we like to stream all our victories. Is what I'm trying to say right now. Um, but guys, a really interesting topic, and like we said, like there's been nothing to show that they're doing this yet, but the information, the Don called it in the beginning, even before we knew what the Switch looked like, when they were saying cartridge based and stuff like that. He was pointing out manufacturing costs, and it seems like he was right. It's trickling down to the developer, and that could be an issue for indie games, and indie games are going to help flesh out that Switch library in the end. So it is a little bit of it is a concern. We don't see anything right now, but it is definitely something to look out for. Don, that was a great topic. Rest of the panel, like it was awesome talking about that with you guys and seeing your opinions as well. But check this out. It is basically 9:15 right now, and it's about time to wind down, all right? And we got to get those plugins and all that good stuff. I feel we had a great show today. Really active in the chat. We were flirting with like 100 people watching at one point in time. So thank you guys for all the support. I'm gonna go down the list here, and you guys know the drill. Basically, tell everybody where they can find you if you've been up to anything like that. And let's hit K Mega first, man, because he's got a long list of stuff that he does, and where you can find him and stuff. So K Mega, man, why don't you kick it off?
All right, man. This is what's popping off, man. I mean, y'all talking about this stuff, and it was hearing the Don after so long, it gets really tedious. I'm just fucking with you. I just fucking with you. Much love. But anyway, yeah. Check me out on multiplayer on Thursday nights. It is our gaming therapy. If you want to hear me cut loose, that's where I cut loose. Have a good time. I'm still not bashing anybody. I'm just really just having a good time, just being a fool, just like with everybody else on the panel. You know what I'm saying? Also on Friday nights, we got GRG podcast. Slowly but surely, we're getting better. Technical issues is the king, but it's gradually getting better. Everything was perfect until Lady Infamous could not get heard. I don't know what happened, but much love to her. You know what I'm saying? But we're getting GRG podcast on Friday nights. And Tim Dog was a part of last night's podcast, which was really cool as well. Mm-hmm. Then of course, my brother's here tonight, and my sister Oh Snap Suckers, here, and then the granddaddy of them all, BGST, tomorrow night, man. Make sure you check us all out for that. I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of Xbox bashing, and I'm going to be doing a lot of Xbox love making because I love Xbox for sure. So, man, check me out on my channel, Xbox. I said Xbox. Goddamn, I'm on your shit.
You went official. Yeah,
I'm in official. Yeah, me and Xbox is getting married anyway. Check me out on my K Mega 405 on my YouTube channel. And on Twitter, K Mega 4. I appreciate everybody that checked out my last video talking about Persona. I have not, I think there was more Persona fans that jumped in and hated my video more than they buy the game.
I was just thinking that, man.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
Throwing it out there.
Yeah. So support everybody that's on that's on the panel tonight. And again, big shout out to my boy Lethal Papa Hot damn, you sit there and said, boy, and anybody wants to give K Mega 45 any gifts, accessories, anything, hey man, pass that on, man. I feel I want to be amongst my white brethren out here that gets all the good stuff. I don't know how the hell the Don got Tekken 7 and some dude sit there and tells him kick K Mega's ass. What you just did is just got Don to get his ass whooped on a daily, because I'm going to make a video every damn day that I whoop his ass. But anyway, all right, man. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
No doubt, Megan. No doubt. And, yo, with that being said, man, we're gonna have to switch it over to the Don now, man. And
oh, come on, come on.
I'm not afraid of old man reflexes.
Oh.
Anyways, though, yeah. So if you want to get too much A button, follow K Mega, right? But if you want to follow me, my Twitter handle is the Don space KTR, which stands for Kiss the Ring. My gamer tag's the same thing, but instead of underscore, there's a space. And I was able to make it live on GRG last week, this last Friday. So definitely check out. K Mega's been putting a lot of work behind the scenes. He has big aspirations on what he wants to make that show to become. So just bear with him. He'll make it worth your while for sure.
Yeah, and if you want to laugh, check out last night's podcast and hear my mic just fall. I don't know what the fuck that was, but everybody laughed at that shit. And you know what?
Man.
Yeah, it was. I got demons everywhere, but thank you, Don, for being on. Xbox, whenever you get the chance to come on, I'm saying, I'm definitely going to have everybody else pop on and be a guest. I'm
Dude,
sorry
when you get the whole GRG family together, man, that's going to be a bunch of talking, man.
Man, look, no, I love it. You know what I'm saying? This is the thing of it. It's just that we, you know what I'm saying, we're all talking about gaming. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, I didn't say Intro Media Gaming. Got to give them a shout out. Love you guys. Thank you. All right. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was gonna wait till the end to remind you about it.
I always do it. Man. Fuck it. I'm sorry, man. Intro Media Gaming, bitch. Not much props, man.
You know what's hilarious? He swears he dropped the mic, but he totally fell out of some yoga ball or something like that. He just fell over.
I know.
But yeah, no, definitely we'll pass it on to everybody else here. But it's good talking games with you guys and all that sort of stuff. So definitely share those tweets and all that sort of stuff. Forget that like button. Just share a tweet, get the news out there, get us popping. So
nice. Yo, let's hit up self-proclaimed king of breakout himself, Newark, man. Why don't you let everybody know where they could get a hold of you, man? You know the deal.
Well, besides trying to keep my daughter quiet,
yo, she was absolutely adorable. Yeah. We heard her a little bit. Absolutely adorable, man.
That's crazy that I heard her because she was standing next to me and I didn't hear what she said. But yeah, usually you can find me Newark NJ360. Everything. Make sure. Well, if anybody even deal with the groups on Xbox, it's Xbox News for Xbox gamers on the Xbox group and also the Facebook group. Mm-hmm. Thank everybody for coming out to the podcast this weekend. Everybody enjoy their weekend and keep it gaming.
Nice, brother, man. And we are moving over to the golden voice. Yo, Foos, man, you know what to do.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Hit me up on Twitter, Fooskies1. Hit me up on Xbox, just regular Fooskies. Yeah, like Newark said, it's awesome to have so many of y'all just come out and spend your Saturday night, listening to us, and we really appreciate it a lot. So thanks a lot, and go enjoy the rest of it. Get some gaming in.
Nice. Yeah, it is Saturday night, man. And before I do this, I want to give a major shout out to UK Dazarus. This guy, man. Yo, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on YouTube, anything that we do, either Next Podcast or I know me personally, my YouTube channel, O Snaps is Mel, he is right on top of it and showing so much support, man. It is absolutely incredible. He is my brother. I like to go kind of like, we were on Facebook with direct messages and stuff like that, talking about family, games, stuff like that. He's a real cool guy. He actually has his own YouTube channel as well. So check out UK Dazarus on YouTube. And if you don't know how to get there, yeah, I tweet when his like his videos drop and everything like that. So, just check out my Twitter and hit his channel up for sure. But yeah, it is Saturday, so I know a lot of people want to get to gaming. Guys, thank you again for checking out this show live. And if you check it out later on, just thank you guys for all your support. This is your podcast, because if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here doing what we do. You give us the strength, you give us the inspiration to do more, to reach further, and to put out a show that from what I'm seeing in the chat and everywhere around, that you guys think is absolutely awesome. We are not even close to being done yet, and thank you guys again for stopping in and checking us out. And as I always say on the next podcast, check you out next Saturday on the next podcast. Have a great weekend, guys.
Later.
Peace.
Woo! Let's go! Yeah.
Yeah.